Hey, if you are watching right now, sorry, I almost forgot. This is the replay. We are no longer live. I'm about to make a custom order on TikTok. So this is the replay. Hi, you guys. Hey, Teresa. How are we? Hey, Janice. Hey, Al. How are you guys doing? Hey, Dina. I'm gonna put my hand like this so I can see. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Robin. Hey, Bianca. Hey, Blanca. I love that name, Blanca. Blanca. Hey, Ida. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Red Fairy. Uh-oh, they all just came in. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Stephanie. Thanks, Yolanda. I have a custom order to do today. Hey, Lena. We're going to be making a Becca with a zippered pocket on the front. It's hot, I know. It's hot here too today. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Mina Love. We're doing her custom order, Miss Mina Love. So if my moderators are in here, if you guys can pin a comment, if she makes a comment, just so I can make sure I see it. Hey, Molly. Hen. Okay, let's get started since she's here. So we're going to be doing a Becca handbag, and then we're going to be doing a classic zip around wallet. This is a custom order. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Elle. Hey, Frida. Hey, Pam. So this is a custom order, and she had pictures sent to me, and we designed her items. So this is going to be the zip around wallet. Mina, I don't know if you want to introduce the people in these pictures. Don't feel like you have to. So this is going to be the front, and then this is going to be the back. So I had this printed on faux leather. Hey, Tamika. Hey, Deanie. And then she chose a black and white polka dot for the interior, so I went ahead and prepped that. And then for the back, this teal coordinating vinyl, she selected black. So I just kind of prepped a lot of pieces since we got a lot to do today. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I attached the zipper to the exterior. I was going to make the wallet yesterday because the bag takes quite a bit of time, and I didn't know if I would have enough time, but I also didn't want her to miss out on watching this be made. So I started, but then I stopped. Your kids and your grandkids. Okay, so I'm assuming these are your kids, and then these are your grands. Okay, so for the exterior, the only prep work is to add craft text and then the zipper, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the interior. So let me grab some clips. So the credit card panels on this particular wallet have 1, 2, 3 credit card slots on each side. So there's 6 here, and then there are 6 here. So there's a total of 12 credit card slots in this wallet. Hey, Dawn. So I'm going to measure where the credit card panel is positioned. I'm going to clip that in place. Make sure it's nice and centered. This is the pattern is the classic zip around wallet by Maggie 55. I know. I wish I had time to do it all. I know I told you guys before, like after I just sit down for a long time, I have to get up and walk around. So it's just hard to sit here for hours. Where do you get your name tapes from? I actually just made a TikTok video. So if you go to my profile and underneath the follow button, the first video is a pinned video. And then the very next one, I talk about where I get my name tapes from. Hey, new view, welcome. Can't believe I missed some. Oh, don't worry, we just started. You didn't really miss anything. I just introduced what we're doing, so you didn't miss anything. You're welcome. move this over just a touch. Okay. So these are clipped in place for the wallet. It's going, I know one looks like it's upside down, but the wallet is eventually going to look like this. So we're going to stitch down, across, and then up. We're not going to sew the top, which will give us a nice little slip pocket behind here. Oh, I forgot to flip it. Thank you. I went to the beach on Sunday and I got sunburned, so I am like dying. I have the air like right on my face. Oh, that's exciting, Christine. Get you a good pair of scissor sharpeners. I'll show you what I use, because I actually need to sharpen my scissors. I was saying that earlier today, and then I was actually like, well, let me do it while I'm on live so I can show everybody what I use and how I do it. My thread just came out. So this is from Fiskars. I'm sure there's other brands that you can get. I want to say I looked it up online and it was between $20 and $30. So it's not cheap, but I bought this when I bought my scissors, which was at least 7 years ago, and I still use it. I mean, you can tell how worn these scissors are based on like where I put my fingers on the inside. They are worn. Hey, Susan. So all you do is put your scissors in between these two slots, and then you just... There's a little ball on the inside that's metal, and it rolls as you move your scissors in. And it just sharpens them for you. I only need to do this about once a year. But I also don't use these scissors for anything except for what I'm directly sewing on the table. So I don't cut like a lot of fabric. Done. And I think there used to be a little pan at the bottom of this that would catch the little scissor clippings, but I don't know where that is. Just set up some tin foil and cut it. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. I've never tried it, but this works. When I first got into sewing, I fell for all the little gimmicks before I know of alternatives. So, just an option. All right, we have one sewn down. I'm going to sew down the other one. Here in Nebraska. I bought that from Joann, but I'm sure you could find some on like Amazon. I would just look up scissor sharpener. Okay, let me trim down sides. I'll show you guys up close what it looks like. So I just stitched on the 2 credit card panels, and again we did not sew the top down, which gives us a nice slip pocket behind the panels. I have that but nothing to catch it. Oh, okay, so maybe I was wrong. I just thought maybe I had lost it. So good. Okay, now what I need to do is sew on my side panels to the credit card slots. That's going to keep our wallet from opening all the way up. Let me grab that. So these little pieces right here are what we're going to glue to the side of our credit card panel, and that prevents the wallet from opening all the way. And then what I'm probably going to have to do is set this aside to dry and get started on the bag. Normally I would add the zipper to the outside to keep the project rolling, but I already did that. So I'm just using fabric glue. This is Fabri-Tac. I get this from Walmart, my local Walmart, because I can't have the stuff shipped to me. So I just line it up with the credit card slot, slide it under just a little, fold it over, and then clip it in place. Let me grab some more clips. Hi! Oh, that glue. Yeah, it's great glue. I've used a couple of different types of fabric glue, and this is definitely my favorite. It's expensive, but it is definitely my favorite. So those are just glued on and clipped in place. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom. Hey, Amanda. This is Fabri-Tac from Beacon. Hey, Wendy. All right, so that is all you have to do for the interior. At this point, the next step is going to be to stitch these down. So they're glued in place just to kind of keep them held in place, and then you actually stitch them down. I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm going to just start working on this. I'm probably just going to do the straps and then the crossbody strap, and that should give it plenty of time to dry so we can finish this. So we'll come right back to this. I already prepped the crossbody strap by cutting it down, adding some tape, as well as the shoulder straps. I'm in love with the horse's names. Hey, Nikki. I have my phone up here charging. So this is the shoulder strap for the Becca handbag. The pattern is on my website if you'd like to make one for yourself or to sew. Alright, so this one is all folded up. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it in place. So all I did was fold down the top of it, which gives us a finished edge on the outside, and then I fold in each side to the center line, a little bit short of the center line. That way when I fold it, there's some fabric on the back and a little bit of distance on the back of that. That's going to take into account when we have this a little bit of open fabric here. Thanks, Wendy. And then now I'm just going to sew it down. It sounded like it was skipping some stitches, so I'm just looking at it, making sure we're good. Hey, I'm good. How are you? It's Tuesday, still early in the week. Just gonna hit the little thread on the end with my lighter. My air conditioner is right above me. There we go. Yeah, I think it did skip us a couple of stitches. I'll cut out another one. Hey, Holly. Do you have patterns for bags? Yeah, they're on my website. If you go to butterbags.com and click on the 3 dashes at the very top, the menu, it's going to be under DIY. It's listed as digital patterns. Okay, let's try this again. I was waiting all day for this. You've been waiting for a while for this. Her fabric came in like a week and a half ago, but I had my lives scheduled for last week, so she had to wait until today. Same thing for my live on Thursday. Let me see if I can remember who it is. No. But her fabric came in about a week and a half ago too, and then Thursday was my next available live for her. I'm making a Becca handbag. This is ASMR. Can you guys hear the sewing machine? I know sometimes it comes and goes. Holly, that's who it is. That's who's Thursday. Okay, good. It used to be louder. Yeah. Holly. She has a Alyssa bag as well as a mini zipper around wallet. Oh my gosh. It skipped like a whole, see that right there? Skipped all those stitches. And it skipped one right there. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I'll probably message you tomorrow to confirm a time. Thanks, Deanie. I just try to pin her comment. Yeah, I think I just, for Mina Love's order today, I think I just reached out to her yesterday about today's time. It's kind of like a day-by-day basis. Let me do this. I think it's been a while since I've changed my needle. Let me just do that. And then I'll show you guys what needle I use. This is a size 19. This is the brand. It'll focus. Will it focus? No. There we go. In case you want to screenshot it. We used to do lives on YouTube. Yes. Yeah. So for custom orders, I typically do them on TikTok only because that's where I've always done my custom orders. But if you have a custom order and you prefer to watch it on TikTok, I'm happy to do it there. If I'm doing like a restocking, I'm happy to do it on YouTube as well. It doesn't really matter to me. There's a certain way that this has to go in, and if it doesn't line up, then it messes up your stitching. There we go. I got the Becca pattern on Sunday. Yay! Hey, Michelle. Can you show them again? Yeah. You can just screenshot it. You took too much butter so she can murder herself. That's true. That's true. I have noticed though that on YouTube Live, there's not as many people that watch it live, which means that I miss a lot of you guys. All right. Since I'm gonna just cut out new straps anyways, I'm just gonna use this. Just to check my stitching. Yeah, it looks like that's what it is because all the stitching is fine. See that stitch in the middle? This one right here. It's perfect all the way through. So I'm just going to cut out new. I'll have to do this after the live Mean a Love, but I'll sew up everything on the bag. So let's do the crossbody strap. And then we should be able to get back to the wallet. I feel like this has been a chaotic live so far. I apologize. No, thank you, Mr. Toxic. Okay. Guys, I don't do or host guests or other people to go live with me, so there's no need in requesting that. Okay. One side is all done. Then I'm going to flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Hey, Cindy. No, it was a request for someone to go live with me. I don't think that my moderators see that request. I wish y'all did, so y'all could just decline them. Okay, everything works out. Yeah, it's looking like it was just my needle. So if you're stitching and you have skip stitches, there can literally be a variety of reasons. Maybe you didn't thread it correctly when you were threading your machine. Your needle may be off. If it's a new needle, it may have been installed incorrectly. You may be using an old needle. Your tension. There's a ton of reasons why that would happen. And in this case, I just needed to change my needle. It was old. I know it was at least 2 weeks old. And with the amount that I sew about 8 hours, about 8 hours a day. I need to change mine. I should probably be changing it every couple of days, but mine can usually last about a week. And then I need to change it. I haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? I've been here. Yeah, I know, Daniel. Danielle? Daniel? Daniel? Yeah, it was a good needle for 2 weeks. Daniel, sorry about that. Okay, stitching is beautiful once again. So no skip stitching. So this is the crossbody strap. Let me add our hardware and then we'll transition back over to the wallet. What causes looping of the bottom thread? That's usually tension. Your bobbin tension. Is it bobbin tension? I think it's bobbin tension on the bottom. New needle, easy fix, yes. Okay, so I have 2 lobster clasps. I have 1 adjustable buckle. For my vinyl, I normally use a 1 inch wide by 1 inch tall adjustable buckle. For some reason, I'm having a really hard time finding those. So what I found was a 3/4 wide and then 1 inch tall. So I just adjusted. These have always been, I've always made mine about 3/4 wide. So I adjusted all my other things that I make to 3/4 so that it will fit this nicely. Somebody had emailed me last week, I think, asking about a supplier because they were having a hard time finding those as well. So I'm not sure if there's a supplier issue or what. So I'm going to attach this to my buckle first, punch a hole and add a rivet. They are hard to find, or they're like super expensive. Then I'm going to add one of my lobster clasps. Feed that back through. So this is the tricky part on that other hardware that I had purchased. It wasn't thick enough to have all 4 layers of the strap go through, which you have to. Sorry, I missed some of y'all's comments. Alright, crossbody strap for the Becca is all done. And so to adjust it to make it longer, you just push it up and push it through, which makes this longer. Keep following with bobbin. Finally googled how to fix it nice. Classes, cases. Yeah, that's true. So for 8 hours for work, 5 hours, so fun. Sometimes, like not too long ago, I had to not reupholster, but make some new pillows for my couches downstairs. So I don't know if I would call that fun sewing. It was more of like a necessity sew. All right, set that aside. Let's get back to our wallet. This should be dry enough now. I'm gonna sew these sides down. Thanks, Luca. Any new patterns coming out? No. The leather work, yes. I actually made another wallet yesterday. It was so much nicer. I took pictures, but it's on the phone that I am going live on. But I can show you the first wallet that I made with leather, because my husband switched out the wallets last night before we went out to dinner. So after this order, somebody remind me and I will show you. I put it over on the table. Do you use foam? I use Craft Tex for the wallets. I do not use foam. It's just a personal preference. Okay, so our side panels are stitched in place. The next step is going to be to sew the interior to the exterior. So I like to flip up my zipper to get that out of the way. Yeah, just remind me. I don't want to stop working on Mina Love's order to show it, but I will absolutely show it when I'm done. So I'm just adding some double-sided tape. This is going to hold the interior and exterior together while I'm sewing it. Get this lined up. And then just press that into the tape. And then sometimes I like to just close it up, make sure everything fits nicely. We're not going to have a problem closing it. Because right now it's just taped in place, so it can be adjusted if it needs to be. It looks like it fits really well. So now I'm just going to stitch that in place. Right. Flip my corners back out. Nice and slow. I'm following the first set of stitches, which is why I'm so intently looking at it. And then I didn't back stitch when I started or when I stopped, so I'm going to pull my thread through and knot it off. And I'll show you guys up close the stitching. So the top stitching is where, the top set of stitching is where I sewed the zipper to the outside, and then the stitching right below that is where I sewed the interior. So I'm using this first set of stitching as the guide and just going right below that all the way around. And I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. What size rivets do I use? So it depends on what I'm riveting, but I have, I buy my rivets from Tandy Leather, and they have like a small, medium, large, and The ones that I used for the crossbody strap that I just did, as well as to attach my shoulder straps, these right here, to the bag, I used medium, which I believe is 8mm. Going so fast. So I'm just going to hand crank around here. That will also give you really good control of your stitching if you struggle with perfect stitching around corners. Just hand crank. There is the stitching. Oh, might be kind of hard to tell on the corners. And now I'm just going to pull my thread through and knot that off. Thanks, Mina. Mina, which charm did you want for your zipper? This, let's call this one A. This one let's call B. And then the new one, which is a lot smaller, let's call this one C. C, okay. All right, I'm gonna singe these little threads that I just knotted off. Okay, now we're going to sew our sides together, and this is going to, one, keep the wallet from opening up all the way flat. It's also the section where the zipper pocket goes. Hi, Debbie. Alright, so that is what we're looking like now, and then I'm going to install the zipper pocket that goes right down the interior. It also gives the wallet additional sections. I make mine just a touch shorter than the pattern, that way I don't have to worry about adding a zipper into it. So that side is stitched in. I'm going to do the same thing over here, and then we're just about done. All I have to do is finish up these little zipper ends, and then the wallet is done. Where do you get that pattern? The pattern for the wallet is the classic zip around wallet by Maggie 55. Alright, all done. So that's that's what it looks like with the zipper pockets stitched in between these two. And then remember, we have the section behind the credit card slot since we did not stitch the tab down on both sides. There's 6 credit card slots here, 6 here. And then of course you have these little sections in between the panel that you can put stuff in also. So the last step is just to get rid of the ends of the zipper. They're going to wind up being glued in between the interior and exterior. Isn't that cute? Alright, so I'm just going to trim off a little more. You don't need a ton, but you need a little bit of zipper tape left. Let me grab my pliers and my glue. And the charm. This is the first time I'm using this charm. Yeah. Mina, you got the very first charm. Congratulations. Alright. Make sure I don't pull this pull off. I'm gonna start with this side. So I'm just tucking it in between the interior and exterior panel, and then I'm going to glue it in there to secure it. Before I do that, I want to do the same thing over here. There's a little bit of manipulation. Takes a little time to get that curve really nice and even. There we go. So that's what this side looks like. And this is what this side looks like. Okay. So the last step before I set it aside to dry is just to add the glue in between those 2 layers to glue that zipper in place. So I'm just going to open it up one more time, Mina, so you can see it. I love that. I love personal pieces. Okay. Make sure my zipper is tucked in nice and tight. Isn't it pretty? Oh, don't cry. Let me clean off the tip of this. I'm going to set this aside to dry. Let me set it right up here. Alright, now let's jump into the Becca. Alright, so we did the crossbody strap. That was kind of a nightmare. Let's jump to the exterior. So on one side she wanted to do a zipper. So here's the bag that we're making, and on the front and the back we have these slip pockets, and a slip pocket is just where you can slip in. There's no actual closure, it's opened at the top. She wanted to add a zipper closure to one of the exterior pockets, so let's do that first. Let me find those pieces. There we go. Did you want the zipper pocket on this panel or the other one, Mina? I know, isn't the wallet special? Yeah, I can show the leather wallet as soon as I'm done with her order. This one. Okay, so for the zipper, this is my pattern so I can give you the measurements. I cut 11 inches of zipper. I cut 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 exterior and interior material for each side. Sew them together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which gives us the full measurement for the full top of the pocket. All right, so we're going to lay our zipper down on the top of it and sew that in place. Hey, Debbie. Get that pull out of the way. And then now I'm going to add the interior material and then sew that onto the zipper. Hey, Just Mammy, sorry I couldn't text you. My other phone was dead. I've had it charging. Oh, I got 62% now. Sorry. Thought it was only, oh, don't worry about it, Andrea. No worries. And then I'm going to flip this over and do a top stitch. Oh, thanks, Deborah. So I'm just clipping the bottom pieces together and I'm going to do a top stitch right underneath that zipper. All right, so this is going to be the bottom part of this, and then I'm going to add the top of it. So it's going to look like that. So I'm going to sew this to the zipper first. Alright, so this is what the outside of the bag will look like on one side. And then I'm just going to add the top lining. And this just doesn't give you this part as the pocket. You actually get the full space of this as a pocket. And I'll show you what I mean. Similar if you've ever watched me make the Aries bag. This bag right here, I do the same thing similarly to what I do to that pocket. Just give you way more space than just that bottom part. I know, Amanda. I've just been doing it for a really long time. All right, and then just like the bottom, I'm going to clip the top pieces together and do a top stitch. Hi, Teresa. feels off about the size. I may have cut one a little too short. I think I just cut the outside a little bit too big, which is no big deal. I can trim that down. There's just a certain way that I like to top stitch. I don't know if I'm sure other people that sew are the same way. There's a certain direction that I like it to be. So when I had it up there, I was like, that's not right. So this top part, I just cut it a little bit too big, which is no big deal. I'll just trim that down. Actually, what I'll do, sew it together first and then trim it down. Double check, make sure it's the right size. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so we have a zipper pocket on one side, and then let me do our slip pocket for the other side. We are creatures of habit. I need a Juki with the thread trimmer. This is a Juki right here, and it has an automated thread trimmer. It's okay. For me, I don't find it like a necessity. I'm okay without it. Alright, so here's going to be the slip pocket on the other panel. So it's going to look like that. Let's work on the strap connectors. So this is the bag that we're making. This is the shoulder strap right here, and it's attached to the bag right here and right here with these connectors. So I'm going to work on that right now. So I make my own patterns. Yeah, some of them. So I've already prepped these. I got double-sided tape taped right along the center. Not necessary, yeah. I think I'm just so used to doing it. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to fold up the bottom so that we have a finished edge, and then fold in each side a little short of the center. So that's what it looks like. Piece of double-sided tape on the bottom. Put on my 1-inch rectangle. Fold that over and then put another piece of tape on the back. So that is what this shoulder strap connector looks like. And I'm just going to do the same thing for the other 3. There's 2 on each side, so there's 4 total. Okay, before I sew it on, Mina, did you want this to be the front with, did you want this to be the front or the slip pocket to be the front? Okay, I'm going to just measure down where I need to put the connectors. Did you miss a lot, Erica? I've been on for almost an hour, so yeah, the zipper front, okay. Fun to see you cutting one day. I think I did that once. I went live and I showed you guys how I cut. So I'm just centering my connectors and they're just taped in place. And then I'll stitch them on. I'm going to do the same thing for the back. The zipper one front. Gotcha. OMG. Is that a mad face? Is that an angry face? Erica, why are you mad? Oh, you missed half of it? Sorry. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube when I'm done. So if you missed the first part of it. Got it, Deanie. I was a little slow. It'll be on YouTube. So you can re-watch. I just like autocorrect. What the world? I've done that before. I think everybody's done that before with autocorrect. Okay. So the connectors on the back are sewed on. I'm going to now add the slip pocket. This is faux leather, yes. Okay, so this is the slip pocket, just like this one. This is the one that has the zippered pocket, so I'm going to sew down the connectors. And then we're going to add the lining, the other lining. Okay, so these are stitched on the actual fabric. The thing about that is that nobody is going to see, the puzzle piece game. The thing is nobody is going to see the stitching behind here when they open it up unless they like turn their bag out to look at the stitching. So it is stitched on the inside cotton, but it's no worries because nobody is going to see that. Okay, so now what we need to do is add the lining to the back so that way when you open up the pocket, we have something that is stitched in. Before I do that though, since this is going to be the front, I need to take off some of these stitches so I can add my name tape. I forgot about that when I did my top stitching, or my stay stitching, I should say. Because even though you can't see these stitches, I wouldn't want to poke my nameplate through here because then you have that exposed metal. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this up so I can access that material behind here. Okay. And Mina Love, did you want to use one of the new name tapes or did you want one of the old ones? Here's the new one, or do you want one of the older ones? I missed something. Dawn, if you don't hear any sound, you may want to just exit out and come back in sometimes. Sometimes that fixes it. Thanks, Julie. The new one. Okay. I was going through all the comments and you guys were talking about the nameplate. Okay. Let me find the center between the two connectors. I'm going to center this. Add a little mark. And I'm just going to stick my hand in between the two layers of fabric so that I don't accidentally poke through the inside lining. Then I'll just add these little holes, install the nameplate, and then we're back in business. So this is going to be the front of the bag. And then now all we have to do is sew on our lining. Oh, let me know, Harbor. Do you mind me asking what? No, not at all. I actually did a TikTok of my supplier where I got it from as well as the cost. So if you go to my profile by clicking on that BB, there's a pin video, and then the very next video, I believe I had like a blue shirt on. That's where I get my hardware from. So the top is just a little bit taller, and that just happened when I sewed these two pieces together. I just made sure to cut a little bit more material up here just so it wouldn't be too short. So I'm going to stitch it, and then I'm going to trim down this excess material. How many weeks is the wait for custom orders? I want to say like 9 or 10 weeks. So now I'm just doing a stay stitch all the way around. Before I trim it down, I'm just going to double check my measurements. Yep. So this is just excess up here. I'm just going to trim that off. So now the front and the back panel are the exact same size. I don't know if you guys can see. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to add the bottom. And so now we have the totally lined pocket. And again, you don't just get this space down here, you also get this space up here too. It's the full pocket on the inside. So if you want to add like a book or a notebook holder, this whole thing will fit because you have the top space now. So you can fit an entire book in here. You have this entire section. The scissors cutting the fabric. I just sharpened them too. Okay, so now we're going to add the bottom. Best sound ever. And then I'm going to open it up and do a top stitch. Going to grab the back and do the exact same thing. Open it up and do a top stitch. Okay, so here's what we're looking like. We have the front, back, and the bottom. And then now we're going to add the sides. These are what the sides look like. Hey Tara, I am making the Becca handbag. It's one of my own patterns. Alright, so the sides are sewn on. The next step is just to sew the side to both the front and the back, which will complete the exterior. Yes. Yes, Cindy. Eek! It's okay, no worries. We can fix that. I forgot, this has a crossbody strap right here, and so there's a crossbody strap connector on the side. And I forgot to add that, but that's okay. Not too late. Good call. Okay. I use D-rings for my crossbody strap connector. So this is going to be a little odd, but we're going to do it. Yeah, if you're asking about my vinyl, I have it custom printed. That's the only information that I don't share, is that supplier. Thanks. Good catch. I appreciate that. Where can I buy the material? What material? You can't buy this material. I mean, you can buy the solid vinyl that I get that from marinevinylfabrics.com. My interior I get from Joann, so you can buy those there. All right, so on the back of my crossbody strap, I could take this stitching out. It'll probably be better if I do that. It'll just be easier. I could still sew this because this part right here where the connector goes, it's not secured to anything, so I could just sew it here. I would have all this extra material to maneuver, so I'll just go ahead and take out the stitching. It's no big deal. Too easy. Easy peas. There we go. Just getting these little threads left behind. Okay. So the crossbody strap connector goes on the exterior. And then I add a piece of Peltex to the back, which just gives me an additional layer of security for this crossbody strap connector. So instead of it being sewn to just one layer of vinyl, it's now sewn to one layer of vinyl as well as this Peltex, which is kind of thick. This is probably a little bit thicker than the vinyl. And I'm just going to tape that back there and then sew this on. I'll do the same thing for both side panels. Okay. Then I'm just going to trim off this excess just so there's not a lot of bulkiness behind it. So that's what my crossbody strap looks like stitched on. And then of course the Peltex. I'm gonna do the same thing here and then we'll sew it back to the body of the bag. Trim this up. And that just reinforces your crossbody strap connectors. Okay, let's go back. Sew these to the side. I can't believe I missed that. Are there any specific threads used for sewing vinyl? Yes, you'll want to have a thicker thread than you would use for like a cotton. You're also going to want a thicker needle. So there are a couple of adjustments when you sew different fabric. It's kind of like, think about sewing jeans, which is a lot thicker than like one piece of cotton. So you want thicker material, or thicker thread and needle to sew thicker material. Sides are stitched on. Now we're going to sew each side, we're back in business, to the front and the back panel. So I'm going to clip them in place and then sew them down. Yeah, this is a industrial sewing machine, so it is good for what I use it for. It wouldn't be good for thinner material. Like if you're sewing clothes, this is probably not going to be a machine that you'll want to use. But for thicker fabrics like this vinyl, it's perfect. Alright, so that side is clipped together, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing right here. I think I need some more clips. Please don't take this the wrong way, but saying you forget makes me not feel so bad about my mess ups. Don't feel bad. I will never get up here and say I'm perfect at anything. I've been doing it for a really long time, and a lot of it's just muscle memory. But I absolutely make mistakes. I don't think there's anybody perfect at anything that they do. Even if they're like the best in their craft, there's mess ups, I promise. And it's okay, we're all human. Side bag lined. I don't know what that means, Cynthia. Are you asking about the lining on the side of the bag? So this is the exterior of the bag. And then we're going to make something very similar for the interior, and then that goes inside of here. So all this material right here, this is the side of the bag, but it's made a little bit differently. The only reason why this part right here is lined is for the zipper pocket for the exterior. So this is the exterior of the bag. We're going to make something exactly the same for the interior, and then we're going to join the two together. All right, let me sew these sides down. Trust the process, for sure. Oh, Mina, you're going to see them now that you have the bag all the time. I gotcha. Yep, you'll have them with you every day. Thanks for doing this live. Oh, you're welcome. I will be live again on Thursday with another custom order. exterior is done. Let me turn it right side out. Good evening. Good afternoon. It's only 1 o'clock here. Alright, so here's what we're looking like so far. So here's the front of the bag with a big old zipper. I don't even want to call it a zipper pocket because it's the entire panel is a zipper. And then on the back, we have a slip pocket. We have our crossbody strap connectors that we did not forget about. So I'm going to set this aside and work on the interior. So the interior has a dual slip pocket. So there is a large side here, and then there is a smaller side right here, as well as a zippered pocket. So we'll start with the zipper. It doesn't really matter. And then we're going to do kind of the same thing. We're going to attach the bottom first. Same thing on the slip pocket side. We're going to attach the bottom to that. Do the sides just like we did for the exterior. So open that up flat, grab our side, line that up. Hey girl, I'm back. Yeah, I was wondering where you were. I hadn't seen you in a while. No worries. Alright, sides are sewn on. And then now what we're going to do is just like the outside, we're going to sew the side to the front and the back to completely close this. I don't really need to clip them in place, I just kind of line it up. Alright, that side is done. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. Where are you that it's 1 p.m.? I'm in Hawaii. Last side. And then after this, we are going to sew our zipper panel. This is the zipper that actually closes the bag. Okay, so the interior is all done. Somebody was asking about the pocket lining for the outside when we were doing it. It doesn't get a lining, it gets an actual full inside lining. So this is going to be the inside of the bag. When you unzip the opening, this is what you're going to see. You have the dual slip pocket here, and then you have the zipper pocket here. I'm going to turn this right side out. The bag is sewn together. The inside and the outside are sewn together inside out. So we're going to turn it right side out through our zipper pocket and our lining. So I want to make sure that that is open. It is. So we're going to turn it right side out through this pocket. So here's our lining. I'm going to set this aside, do our zipper panel closure, and then that's it. Then we put everything together. Gonna add my pull. I went to visit Hawaii. It's a gorgeous place. I'm going to butterfly open. Call it a butterfly open. The zipper. Without poking myself. Hey Nancy. Is the solid black? Is the solid vinyl black? For this bag, it's black. She wanted black. This is a custom order. I'm going to trim off the outside or the excess, and then I'll show you guys up close what I did. Hit that with the lighter. Sorry, my air is right above me. So I just kind of made the sides open to where it kind of butterflies out like that, and it looks really pretty inside of our zipper panel doing it that way. So now I'm going to clip it to my vinyl, which is my zipper panel. That looks a little long. Oh, that's right. I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to clip my zipper along the vinyl to secure it in this panel. Do the same thing over here on this side. Okay, and then now all I need to do is add the back and then just clip that in place. And then we can sew our panel together. What's the secret in sewing zippers? Mine always ends up crazy. Are you talking about zipper panels? Zipper pockets? I mean, there's so much that you can use with zippers. I have a tutorial on how I do my panel. I want to say it's on my Facebook or my TikTok. But I also have it in my YouTube. A lot of it, the zipper tape is pliable, so you don't want to do a lot of pulling when you're using zipper because it can make it wavy. It can distort the final look of the zipper. Okay, so we have our zipper in our panel. We have the front and the back of the panel clipped on, and then now I'm going to stitch it in place. Hey, Kelly. So So I'm just going to go nice and slow. I'm not going to tug at my zipper. I'm just going to allow it to lay nice and flat. I'm actually going to be pushing down on my vinyl to hold it in place. That side is done. Okay, panel is done. I'll show you guys up close what that looks like. So here is the zipper panel, and here is why we took the time to curve our, or butterfly our zipper in, so it just lays in there really nicely. And then now I'm just going to add the zipper end. So I'm just going to put some double-sided tape along each side. And that tape's just going to hold it in place while I'm sewing the zipper end on. Hey Susan. Hey Bluebell. Alright, so that tape is just holding that in place. Now I'm going to stitch it on. Just stitching a rectangle. So I cut my end a little bit larger, that way I can trim it down to size so it's nice and even all the way around. That is what the zipper end looks like. And then now we're going to attach our zipper panel to the exterior of our bag. So I'm going to line this up, clip it in place. Becca, my granddaughter, absolutely loved her new purse, Doreen. Is that the plaid? The pink and navy plaid? Yeah. I just got your other one out in the mail today. I love that she took your bag from you and you let her have it. Alright, so that is the zipper panel. It's just clipped to the top and the back, on the front and the back. I'm going to go ahead and do a stay stitch. And that's just going to hold that in place until we actually sew it together. You had to. It was very sweet of you. I'm wanting to do embroidering and quilting. Cool. work is done for the outside and the inside, and now we just put them together. My daughter played my wallet too. It happens. It happens actually quite often. I usually get a lot of emails and messages telling me that that's happened. Alright, so we're going to turn the exterior wrong side out. Make sure all my hardware, all of my, the top of my hardware is pushed down so I don't sew over it. Same thing for that. Push that down. And then these are down. Alright, so exterior wrong side out, interior right side out, and then we're going to tuck this inside. So I'm going to start with my side seams. I'm going to match those up and clip them together. Thanks, April. And then just clip all the way around. Thanks, Savvy. All right. We have our zipper pocket open. This is how we're going to turn the bag right side out, and then now we're just going to stitch them together. Let me grab some water. Just stitching and turning, stitching and turning. I'm going to turn my iron on. Turning this in and out so many times, excuse me, it usually gets the bottom kind of wrinkly with this Peltex, and so I like to stick the iron down on the inside to get out any wrinkles that it might have. So now we're going to turn it right side out. Drum roll. So I just push and roll. Go nice and slow. You don't want to stress out the stitching in that zippered pocket. So see, there's some wrinkling in the bottom. We can get that out. You can't iron vinyl. It will melt it. But you can iron the inside if you use cotton, which this interior fabric is cotton. Alright, so let me get everything together. I'm going to clip my top down so I can do a top stitch, and then right before I do a top stitch I'm going to sew my zipper pocket shut on the inside as well as iron it out. This side over here is a little bit thicker because I have that interior pocket layering. I have 2 layers of that. So it just makes it a little bit thicker over here. So I'll just go really slow when I'm top stitching. Isn't it fun? It's a custom order for Miss Mina Love. Okay. Going to sew the zipper pocket closed. Oh good, I'm glad you like it. Tuck that back inside, and then I'm going to iron out the inside to get those wrinkles out. This is faux leather. It's not real leather, no. So I just stick my iron down on the inside, hit it with some steam. And that's usually plenty to get out the wrinkles on the bottom. Okay. And then now we top stitch. Let me get my tension right. Do a little test. Okay, looks like my tension is good. How do I know what tension I need? I think a lot of it just comes with experience in using a sewing machine. The thicker material, the more tension you want to use. And this is some thick material. But sometimes it's just trial and error. That's why I picked up that scrap material and did a couple stitches just to make sure that my tension was good. So just find some scrap material that has the same amount of layers as whatever you're sewing. Try that, make sure your tension is good, your stitches is good. And then just go slow. Going to pull my thread through where I started. And pull them through again so I can knot it off. All right, so that is the top stitching around the outside. This is just a little bit of machine oil. It comes right off. Okay, the bag is all done. The only thing is the shoulder straps, which I'm gonna have to cut more of because my tension was off and the stitching was really bad. But we have the crossbody strap. And Mina, I'll just send you pictures. Once I do the shoulder straps, I will just take a couple of pictures of what it looks like all done, and I'll send those to you in your email. And here's what it looks like with the crossbody strap. And of course you got this big old zipper pocket on the outside. Slip pocket on the back. It'll have shoulder straps, and then of course the zipper panel closure. Plus your matching wallet. I get so backwards with this video. So cute. I hope you love it. Is that not the cutest? So this will go out into the mail tomorrow. My mail's already been picked up for today, but I will send you an email with some pictures once I add the shoulder straps. Good, I'm glad you like it. All right, let me grab that wallet that I made. The leather wallet. So I mainly use, this is all faux leather. I don't use a whole lot of real leather. One, it's expensive. I live in Hawaii. It's really hard to find. I have to have it shipped here. So I got some leather about a month ago, and I just started working with it. And here's the very first wallet that I made. I made it for my husband. It's not for sale. I would never sell this to anybody. But here's what it looks like. The difference between leather and faux leather is that the main difference is that it's thicker, and traditionally you hand sew it. So there's no sewing machine involved. You hand sew it. So these are like the big old needles that you would use. So here's the wallet. The very first wallet that I made for my husband. Poor thing, he wore it with pride too. So this is all hand stitched. It looks terrible. Look at these stitching. Look at that. I didn't even get it to go all the way around. And then on the inside, these little circles, they don't even line up. Same thing here. Poor thing, that man wore this with pride though. And then of course it has, but it's 100% leather. It's a lot thicker than the vinyl that I use. So he wanted one where he could put cards like right here behind these credit cards in here. But if you see, this is actually sewn to the leather. So the new one that I made him, I mean, it turned out so much better. I actually rounded the corners. I did what's called burnishing, which just kind of polishes up the edges so it doesn't really look really thick. It looks more shiny. I centered the circles, and I just polished. Everything is just a lot more polished. And if you're in my Facebook group, when he gets home tonight, I'll put pictures in there to show you. I also used a little needle. So the thing about this, about leather, is that scratches will last forever. You can't get them off. So I actually used this, and that's why this was up here. I used this to put a little message in his new wallet, and I just kind of scratched it in like that. Oh, right here. Right here. So I put him a little message in his new wallet. Did I forget the charm? For what? You got a charm on your wallet, and then for the bag you get this. Was there another charm that you wanted, Mina? It looks terrible. I mean, it looks like absolute trash. But I will keep this forever because it was my very first one. So in a year I can look back and see how much I've come, how far I've come. Yes, I agree, Elle. Nancy, I have it custom printed. That's how the pictures got up there. Do I make these kind of wallets in vinyl? No. And the reason why is because I haven't really found or come up with a pattern that looks really good. So for vinyl, you have to line it. This is just left natural, so there's no lining in here. Same thing for the credit card slots. They're just left natural because it's leather. But if you use vinyl, you don't want to leave any vinyl exposed. You want to line it with something. So I haven't really come up with something, or I haven't found a pattern for a men's type of wallet that doesn't look super bulky when it's lined with cotton or something else. So no, I don't have this in vinyl. I'm just doing this men's wallet with this leather. Leather sweet video in your kitchen. Yeah, he does love me. He's a sweet guy. I told you I wasn't going to keep it up, so I already took that video down. Natalie. Okay, I am going to run. How long does it take to get a purse back in stock? It depends. A lot of the times I restock and then they sell out right away. So what I recommend doing is, for every product that I have, if it's sold out, there is a box that says notify me when it's back in stock. And so if you click on that, put your email address in that box, then I will send you an email notification. You'll be the first one to know whenever it is restocked. You didn't see the video? I think I deleted it. I think I deleted it. Oh, you're welcome, Mina. Bye, Janice. Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday. I'll see if I can re-upload it. I think I deleted it off my phone, though. Oh, thanks, Carter's mom. Okay, this video will be up on my YouTube later on this evening, and then I will see you guys back here on Thursday. Have a good night.